I remember the golden era of soap operas, watching the legendary feuds where legacy characters like Bobby Spencer or Helena Cassadine would weave webs of manipulation so complex that it left us breathless. Today, we are seeing a modern iteration of that exact same psychological warfare, and it is a direct testament to the long-term storytelling that keeps us glued to our screen. If you ask me, the current battle brewing between Willow Kane and Jacinda Bracken is shaping up to be one of the most compelling conflicts we have seen in years, precisely because it mirrors the high-stakes, emotional blackmail that defined the greatest eras of daytime television. The foundation of this impending explosion rests on a terrifying realization. We all watched in absolute horror when Jacinda Bracken crossed an unforgivable line by drugging Willow Kane's iced coffee. The sheer audacity of that act, especially considering that little Wiley was mere seconds away from taking a sip, is enough to make any mother's blood run cold. But Willow is no longer the fragile young woman she once was. Slowly but surely, the fog has lifted, and Willow has finally pieced together the sinister truth. She has realized that her erratic behavior and the terrifying endangerment of her children were not accidents or lapses in judgment, but the direct result of Jacinda's malicious poisoning. This realization marks a monumental shift in the narrative, transforming Willow from an unwitting victim into a woman seeking righteous justice. Instead of crumbling under the weight of this trauma, Willow has chosen the path of a relentless investigator. In my decades of watching this show, I have always appreciated when a heroine takes matters into her own hands. Willow has begun quietly and methodically investigating the incident, scouring for security camera footage, seeking out witness testimonies, and hunting for any microscopic trace of evidence that could definitively prove Jacinda was the mastermind behind the poison. She is building an airtight case, preparing to hand this irrefutable proof over to Michael Corinthos and the local authorities. For a brief moment, it seems as though Willow has the upper hand, ready to banish Jacinda from their lives and secure the safety of her family once and for all. However, just as Willow prepares to deliver the final crushing blow, Jacinda unexpectedly plays a devastating trump card, proving that she is a villainess cut from the same cloth as the most notorious schemers in Port Charles history. Jacinda does not cower or beg for mercy when confronted with the threat of police involvement. Instead, she unleashes a weapon so potent that it stops Willow dead in her tracks, Nina Reeves. Jacinda reveals that she has somehow acquired concrete, damning evidence regarding one of Nina's most severe and highly guarded secrets. We all know that Nina has a deeply troubled past, filled with questionable choices and borderline criminal activities, but this particular piece of evidence is apparently severe enough to guarantee Nina's absolute ruin if it were ever to see the light of day. The brilliance of Jacinda's strategy lies in its psychological cruelty. She does not need to physically threaten Willow or even deny the drugging allegations. She simply lays out a chilling ultimatum. If Willow goes to the police or tells Michael about the poisoned coffee, the evidence against Nina will instantly be leaked to the authorities and the media. Jacinda is weaponizing Willow's complex but undeniable love for her biological mother. Despite all the pain and friction that has defined their relationship, Willow cannot bear the thought of being the catalyst for her mother's destruction. This masterful manipulation places Willow in an agonizing, seemingly inescapable corner, paralyzing her pursuit of justice. But Jacinda's ambitions do not stop at mere self-preservation. If you ask me, her true endgame is far more insidious and heartbreaking. Jacinda's ultimate targets have always been Michael Corinthos and the two innocent children, Wiley and Amelia. By holding Nina's freedom hostage, Jacinda demands the unthinkable. She forces Willow to step away from Michael and sever all ties with her beloved children. Jacinda knows that as long as Willow's in the picture, she can never truly control Michael or secure her place in the family hierarchy. By forcing Willow to voluntarily walk away, Jacinda aims to completely dismantle Willow's life, leaving the path clear for her to step in and take over as the matriarch of the household. This demand creates one of the most profoundly painful paradoxes we have ever witnessed on this show. Willow is fully aware that Jacinda is a dangerous predator who literally poisoned her and endangered her son. Yet, if she fights back and exposes Jacinda, she risks sending her own mother to prison and igniting a catastrophic war that could destroy her entire family. On the other hand, if she remains silent and complies with the blackmail, she loses the very children she has fought so desperately to protect. It is a mother's ultimate nightmare, a choice between two unimaginable tragedies. This is the kind of agonizing emotional conflict that defines the very best of the genre, pushing a character to the absolute limits of their endurance. Yet, this is where the character integrity of Willow Kane truly shines. Years ago, when she was first introduced as a survivor of a manipulative cult, she might have succumbed to this kind of psychological torture. She might have packed her bags, wept a river of tears, and martyred herself for the sake of her mother's freedom. But the Willow we know today is a fierce, protective mother who has survived cancer, family betrayals, and countless threats. She is not about to surrender her children to a woman who would casually slip drugs into a beverage. While she may outwardly project an aura of defeated compliance, her mind is working at lightning speed, calculating her next move with the precision of a seasoned chess player. I firmly believe that Willow will play the role of the tragic, yielding victim to perfection. She will pretend to accept Jacinda's cruel terms, leading the villainess to believe that she has won a total and absolute victory. Jacinda's arrogance will be her downfall, as she basks in the false glory of having broken Willow's spirit. But beneath that facade of submission, Willow will be orchestrating a brilliant counteroffensive. She knows that she cannot fight this battle alone, and she knows exactly who to turn to when her family is on the line. This is where the true power of a super couple comes into play, a dynamic that has been sorely missed in recent storylines. Behind closed doors, in the dead of night, Willow will secretly confide the entire terrifying truth to Michael Corinthos. Michael, who has already demonstrated his absolute fury and disgust over Jacinda's reckless actions, will become her silent partner in this war. Michael has the resources, the protective instincts, and the Corinthos ruthlessness required to handle a threat like Jacinda. Together, they will form a clandestine alliance, plotting to trap Jacinda in her own web of lies. By keeping their partnership a secret, they will allow Jacinda to operate under a false sense of security, giving them the crucial advantage of surprise. The turning point of this explosive storyline will undoubtedly come from a brilliant twist of fate and investigative prowess. As Willow and Michael dig deeper into the supposed evidence Jacinda holds against Nina, they will uncover a monumental flaw in the blackmailer's armor. Willow will begin to realize that the evidence Jacinda is brandishing so confidently is not the complete. It may be a partial truth, a heavily doctored narrative, or perhaps even a complete bluff designed solely to instill paralyzing fear. Jacinda, in her desperate bid for power, has overplayed her hand, relying on Willow's panic to prevent her from looking too closely at the details of the blackmail material. When Willow finally discovers that Jacinda's trump card is defective, the entire dynamic of the power struggle will invert in a spectacularly satisfying fashion. The realization that she has been terrorized by a partial lie will ignite a fire within Willow that Jacinda could never have anticipated. The fear that kept Willow compliant will evaporate, replaced by a cold, calculating determination to destroy the woman who threatened her family. This is the moment where the narrative shifts from a story of victimization to a story of absolute empowerment. Willow will no longer be the prey, she will become the predator, hunting down Jacinda with a vengeance that will leave the audience chilled. We are about to witness a masterclass in character evolution. Willow, armed with the knowledge of Jacinda's bluff and backed by the unwavering support of Michael, will systematically dismantle Jacinda's life. She will turn the blackmail back on her tormentor, using Jacinda's own tactics to expose her as the dangerous, manipulative criminal she truly is. The confrontation that is inevitably coming will be a monumental payoff for the viewers who have patiently watched Willow suffer in silence. It will be a testament to the enduring strength of a mother's love and the unbreakable bonds of a family that refuses to be torn apart by outside forces. In my many years of following the trials and tribulations of Port Charles, it is storylines like this that remind me why I fell in love with this genre in the first place. The rich history, the complex character psychology, and the slow, deliberate build-up to an explosive climax are the hallmarks of truly great television. While the faces may change and the specific conflicts may evolve, the core themes of love, betrayal, and redemption remain as powerful as ever. I, for one, will be watching every single moment of this unfolding drama with bated breath, steadfast in my passion for the incredible storytelling that continues to define our favorite show.